Hello and welcome. I am Exelite and this is my channel. Before we get started, I'm going to have to apologize for the fact that there is a jackhammer outside behind me. I am so sorry. It's so rude of them to be jackhammering while I am doing a video. Today we're going to do another in the series of paranormal and supernatural news. And before we get started, if you would like to give this video a thumbs up, please do so. If you would like to be subscribed, please go ahead and click that button. If you would like to be notified of my content when it goes live, please click that bell. What we're going to talk about today is a missing rock. Not just any rock, though. We're going to talk about Wizard Rock, a 1-ton boulder made out of black and white granite that magically, mysteriously disappeared in Prescott, Arizona. Now, I know that those of you who have lived in Arizona, visited Arizona, or are living in Arizona, just put your fingers on your keyboard to say to me, Prescott, Arizona is not pronounced Prescott. It is pronounced Prescott. And I know this. I lived in Arizona for 10 years. I also named one of my children Prescott as a middle name. So I think I'm just a tiny bit an authority on how to pronounce that word. But for the record, when I lived in Arizona, I did call it Prescott. However, I no longer live there, so I'm going to call it Prescott. Here we go. So in October, Wizard Rock, which sits on State Route 89, which is near White Spar Road and a little bit south of Prescott, went missing. Some hikers, some people who drove by, they reported it missing to the National Park System. A 1-ton boulder. So the National Park employees went out there and sure enough, there was no boulder. You know what else there wasn't? Any tracks, any drag marks, any truck tire marks, nothing. The boulder was just simply gone. So the National Park System released a statement to the media, and before you know it, this story went nationwide, worldwide. Wizard Rock is a very famous rock. A lot of people, many of you maybe, have had your pictures taken next to this rock. It is a very sacred thing to the people who live in the area, and it's a very famous rock. So they released a statement and said, Wizard Rock is gone. We missed the rock. If you could bring it back, please do. The rock was gone for 2 weeks. After the press release was released on November 1st, a National Park Service employee on patrol discovered that the 1-ton boulder was magically, perhaps by a wizard, see what I did there, returned to the exact same spot. And again, no drag marks, no truck tracks, no hint of anybody actually being there to move the rock. Yet, there it was. So, naturally, the disappearance and the cause of the disappearance became much speculated across the world and the internet. Sarah Clausen, who is a ranger for the Prescott National Forest's Bradshaw Ranger District, was just glad to have the boulder back where it belonged. She said, "We are thrilled that the Wizard Rock was returned, and we are grateful that whoever took it was conscientious enough to give it back to the public." Do you think that was it? That somebody took it and they thought, oh, we should float it down from the air and place it back? I don't know. The National Forest provides so many benefits to the American people, and when something like this happens, it really highlights the intrinsic value of natural beauty in all its forms. And then the Forest Trails and Wilderness Manager, Jason Williams, said it would have taken heavy equipment to move that large of a stone. The easy way to do it would be a backhoe, he said. But if you had a trailer positioned properly and you didn't mind beating some things up, you might be able to do it with a bobcat. But surely you aren't going to be able to do it any other way. So, how was it moved? No bobcat tracks, no backhoe tracks, nothing destroyed. How was it moved? And how was it placed back? So the Prescott National Forest officials are considering moving Wizard Rock to a new location where its beauty and uniqueness can be more easily seen by visitors, according to the email statement. I think that's a little bit code for so we can keep an eye on it. But if it can magically, mysteriously disappear from one place without leaving a trace, isn't it possible that no matter where it went from here, that it could magically and mysteriously disappear again? Also, forest officials want to remind the public that permits are required to gather and remove most forest products, which include 1-ton boulders, rocks, minerals, firewood, plants, and trees. So don't even think about it. Don't even think about picking that rock up. Leave that boulder there. And ask yourself, how did the boulder leave? Why did it leave? Well, for one thing, it's a very spiritual symbol to a lot of people in the area. It's very famous. Some of you might have had your picture taken next to this wizard rock. So how do you think it disappeared and came back? Was it paranormal or supernatural? You tell me. Good night.